Did you get it first time?
Really?
Never get it first time.
Second time. Holy shit. Ah!
Diesel is horrid.
Yeah, man. Right, cut.
That's okay.
I'm holding my foot.
Can't even do this.
Right, we're going to be jumping about a bit in this video. That bit's all basically welded up and cleaned up. I have some wing. I never actually welded this bit on the wing. And I have some, this bit here needs to be dressed out to meet this. A wee bit rust. So, and I've got some spot welds to do. So I'm going to get on with all that. I've got that top bit of the wing folded in. Just basically did that with a hammer and a wee like cold chisel and built up the weld in the gap that was left. But it looks alright from the outside. Right, I have this bit floor cleaned up pretty much as good as I could get it, and the repairs done on it to a standard I'm happy enough with. I'm going to go ahead and cover this with rust treatment, but before I do that I'm going to clean up this bit and this side of the bulkhead. So we'll get on with that just now. Right, so we've got quite a lot of that cleaned up. Right, obviously this bit's going to get replaced because it's kind of beyond repair. There was a patch of rust here. I could just treat it. I'm in two minds whether to cut this bit out or not. I've done underside of the scuttle as best I can. Oh, missed a bit up there and there. Never get to that anyway. So more rust treatment up in there. That only went so far along just now. So I'm going to cover all this with rust treatment just now, and then think about if I'm going to do this bit or not. Obviously I would have to give it more of a sanding and it would just make it very thin. So as well, just cutting it out I think. I think that's what I'll go for. Right, so I'll give it all some rust treatment just now. And there it all is with its first coat of rust treatment. That's it, had 2 coats with the rust treatment stuff. As you can see, it gives a good finish, that stuff. Like, so I'm going to get on and repair this bit now. Right, there's that bit cut out. So I'm going to clean that up, ready to weld. Oh, I managed to skiff it with a grinder. This fuel pipe, I think it is. It's right through the pipe. So I'm going to have to replace that now as well. Right, there's the bit I cut out the van. Transferred it on a bit of sheet steel, and I'm going to cut that out and try it for size. Right, there I've got that bit cut and placed in. It's fitting all right. Obviously nothing to clamp it to or anything like that, so I had to use a couple of Kev's fridge magnets on the back side, so I'm going to get some tacks in that just now. Right, here we are, tacked in now. I'm just going to go ahead and weld that in, clean it up. And there's that bit welded in. That's just the first pass. Obviously it will need more than one pass. So I'll get that cleaned up now. Right, I've got that bit welded in. Just have to clean it up now. I've jumped over to this side now. This is original van. I did clean this up once before to shiny. I'm going to see how it cleans up just now. And there's that bit cleaned up as well. It will need a second pass also. Right, so I've done a second pass with the welder there and cleaned it up, so I'm just going to go ahead and spray paint all this top bit. I'm going to leave this bit just now because I'm going to put some Hydrate 80 here where a bit of diesel affected it, so I've sanded it back again, and then I'll spray that bit. There's the back bit bulkhead painted so far, and I've also ran some seam sealer around it. Right, I've cleaned that up to see where my spot welds are, so the first thing I'm going to do is drill that out and remove this bit. Right, I've managed to get that bit cleaned back to quite a shiny standard, so I'm going to put the very last of my rust treatment on that before I order some more. Right, that's nearly dry now, so I made a cardboard template of the other side because they're symmetrical, and then I've made that, and now I've just got to fold like a 10mm lip all the way over around this bit, so I'm going to get on and do that now. Right, I've got that bit made with the curve and that in it with the lip, like a 10mm lip all the way around. Also start putting a curve in it, just kind of over my knee just now, just to get the rough shape, but I've had to abandon that just now because I have broken the Golf. Right, the next stage I'm at is I have that curve to it, but I kind of need to put a curve back in it this way, along that line, kinda, roughly. This is all just kind of rough. So how I'm doing that is I've got a bit of scaffold bar in the vise, and I'm just going to hit it with a dolly hammer, a finishing hammer, or a panel beater's hammer anyway, which I'll add. I got a set, it's just a wee cheap set, but I got a set off a Gumtree for a tenner. That was after somebody bumped me for one hammer at 15 quid and they never sent it, so Gumtree at its best, eh? Right, I've got it clamped in at this corner here. I've drilled and screwed it here just with a wood screw, but it's just temporary. There will be a spot weld going around here somewhere anyway. That's just to kind of hold it in place so I can just hit it with a hammer some more and just get it into a bit of a better shape, closer to the original. I've drilled the spot welds out and I've still got a couple to break off, and then this bit will be out. I put a couple more screws in there, screw it down. I've been bashing it with a panel beating hammer. I've got it to where I'm happy with it anyway. I have to trim it a little bit on each side, left it a little long. These screws are going to be where there is going to be spot welds anyway, so that doesn't matter. I'm going to drill out the rest of these spot welds so it's ready to go in. On this, where it's rough, obviously where I've been bashing it, I'm going to try and like finish it, if you like, with a panel beating hammer against the dolly, and that's try and take out some of the bumps. So we'll see how we get on with that. Here's my hammer and dolly set I got for a tenner. That's similar to the one I've already got. Need cleaned up, but for a tenner, so there's one of the dollies in the vise, and then I just hold that against there like that and just bash against it a million times and try and take some of the bad dents out of it. So I'm going to get on with that just now. I've spent about half an hour bashing away at it, and I've taken quite a lot of the wrinkles out, but it's good enough for me just now anyway. I'm going to go ahead and clean these bits up and then put some weld through primer on. There it is, clamped in, ready to weld. I'm just going to have to do it little bit by bit, and leave bits because it will need hammered, obviously, just because it's not perfect yet. So I'm going to tack what bits I can just now. There it is, all tacked in. I'm going to go ahead and weld that up tomorrow. Got other things I need to do tonight. Spot welds there are brutal. Had too much heat on it, but novice mistake, and I am a novice. Those two were okay. So happy enough with that for today. There it is, cleaned up after the first pass with the welder. Going to do another couple of bits in here, a few bit there, and at the top here. So I'm going to crack on with that just now. There's the wee holes patched up. So I'll go ahead and clean them up now. I have a little question. What are these things called? Just so I could order some more better looking ones off eBay. And there's that bit with a coat of primer on it. I was wanting to clean up this back bit here, but I've ran out of primer and rust treatment and stuff like that, so I've ordered it. So I'm going to jump back to the passenger step area and just do a wee bit of work there. Right, here's basically where the passenger step area was left off. We've got that bit in. This wasn't welded in because it was tacked in, but it's coming out again. So I could do work at the back here. Still got these holes to do, and got this bit to do, which it looks like I've already marked the spot welds to drill out, so I may as well just get on with that bit just now. Right, I cleaned this bit up with a finger sander, but it's looking pretty shit, so I'm going to just cut this all the way along on that edge. Get a wee bit of fresh metal in there for doing this bit. Again, this bit I've just folded back because the other piece slides in here, so I'll deal with that after I've done this bit. And there's that bit cleaned up. So quite happy with that. It will need another pass, but I'm happy enough with that. I was doing a bit of editing last night and my phone doesn't seem to have captured all the footage that I'd done, so this is basically where I got to it on this. 2 or 3 wee pinholes to catch, and I'm working on the passenger step, as you've seen some of that. Going to go ahead and clean this bit up and put some weld through primer on it. Made this plate, I've put some weld through primer on the bits that are going, I can't get to, and on the back, and I'm going to weld it in. Right, I'm going to weld that bit in there like that now then. There's that bit welded in. Let's go ahead and clean that up now. There's that bit with the welds tidied up. Still got tidying up to do here and spot welds to do. Some of the spot welds need a wee bit more on them. But I'm going to stop the video here or it's going to go on forever. Thanks for watching.